Misfit Adventurers.
So, where you guys are currently, just as a quick recap, because it's been a couple of weeks, is at the foothills of the Ashtarak Mountains. You were basically guided there by some sort of spirit that you found in a town near the foothills. And you made your way towards these large stone steps, which you're now at the foot of. There were some wolf-like creatures that came out of the forest that attacked you out of nowhere, but you dealt with them relatively easily. And you were now at the bottom of these large stone steps that look to have been built into the mountains themselves, hand carved somehow. Each step themselves looks to be a good kind of 2 feet high, and they just look to create a winding path up into the mountains. And that is more or less where we left off. So you're now at the bottom of these steps.
Keep up, motherfuckers! Ron runs up the steps.
I guess that settles that then. We're just going straight up. I think we remember we spoke before about how Ashtarak knew we were coming, so there was no point like trying to be all stealth like.
Yeah, let's not dilly-dally anymore. I feel like I slowed us down quite a lot last time by coming up with a super clever roundabout ways plan, just to realise I had no inkling on previous context.
I believe we spent many hours discussing it, yeah.
It was going to be fun, but let's just get a move on and get caught.
all of that was right, yeah. Oh my God.
I think Ashtarak's actually taken over the world, and we're just still sat here, so...
And we're still talking about what fucking way we're gonna do. The steps are in front of us.
We're on the steps to
What about the
Ashtarak.
damn fucking steps?
Oh, that's the thinking.
Fucking ass crack.
Ron's gone. Ron's gone.
Let's go follow Ron. I think we should just go after Ron. And,
Don't run too fast after. With any luck, somebody will fucking kill him.
That'd be that. He'd be the one to die.
Right, that's my shit.
So the steps themselves are not just very high, but they're very wide as well. There's quite a big, they're quite big so that you can fit several up one at a time. We can assume that Ron is at the front. How are the rest of you going up? Are you going single file? Are you going in pairs? What do you want to do?
Oh, I'm chasing after Ron.
I'm leaving him to do that. I'm not chasing.
I'm gonna walk up really slowly because I'm 196, you know.
So
I'm not gonna rush. I'm feeling her from the last battle.
Okay.
I'll walk alongside the burr. You know, I like his pace. I'll go with the burr.
Oh, it looks like I'm bringing out the bloody rear then on my own, didn't it? Right, fuck the lot of you.
Okay.
I'm excited to hopefully find that weapon of mine that I'm crafting. Elky's horns.
Elky's remains.
Yeah.
I had an idea for that. I'll send that over in the chat in a moment. See what you think. So, okay. So you've got Ron and Tal steaming ahead up these steps. Deborah and Brody going a little bit slower pace, not too far behind, a few steps behind. And then you've got Allbrand at the back, just kind of taking his time at a leisurely pace.
I have a choice.
The steps themselves, they wind up into the mountains, all the way up and up and up. And you can feel definitely after a short while, the oxygen levels start to drop a little bit. You're already quite high up when you start to feel that there is definitely a lack of oxygen there. But equally, one thing that does strike you is that this sky that has been ever darkening is now almost pitch black. And at this point, you now have the sun itself. It's kind of afternoon-ish. You have the sun itself covered in a blanket of clouds. So there is very little visibility as you're making your way up towards these this castle, this town, whatever it is that you might find at the top of this mountain. And as you make your way up, visibility is okay. You can still kind of make out the general shape of the steps and the mountain, so you can kind of find your way up as you go. But just while we're walking up there, if everyone can do a perception check for me.
I can be doing that right now. Here we go. Oh yeah, dirty 20. As we mean to go on, mate.
10. Classic Tar.
21.
12.
And I have a 3.
Okay. So after a little while, as you start to get higher and higher up, Allbrand, being at the back, he has a good view of everything. And Ron is basically sprinting up these steps. So, you know, he's that far ahead and Allbrand is that far behind that this doesn't affect them. But what happens is for Brody, Deborah, and Tar, out of the blue, from out of the clouds, comes a large swarm of bats. They're almost like an organism of themselves. There are so many together that they come swooping right across the middle of the group of you. If the three of you make a dexterity check as well.
Oh, bollocks.
Oh, shit.
All right, all right.
Oh, actually, I'm fine.
That doesn't affect us.
23.
I got a 15.
12.
Okay.
You
So
hate birds.
these bats.
Yeah, well, they're flying things, and you know.
Different classification of anime altogether. So between Ron and Allbran, they pick up on these bats coming. So Ron being at the front, he can kind of see them as he's sprinting up. He kind of catches wind of them. And Allbrand being at the back, he's got a good kind of view of everything. So the two of them call to the rest of you and warn you that they can see this large swarm coming out of nowhere. So the three of you do almost get clocked by these bats, but you do manage to kind of duck and weave out the way, drop to the floor just to avoid them completely. And this stream comes along and almost seems to come forever. There are so many. There's hundreds upon hundreds of these bats that fly out of nowhere. And almost just as quickly as they appeared, they disappear off into the far distance. And for a moment or two, you're a little bit rattled, kind of not quite sure what to make of it, not quite sure how non-treacherous this journey up these steps are going to be. But you regain your composure and you continue onward. So you've got, again, Ron, just as soon as these bats disappear, he just continues to sprint up the steps, Tar following very closely behind, and then Brody, Deborah, and Allbrand bringing up the rear.
I add that regardless of whether I'm successful, I'd like to fire a couple of bolts in the direction of the bats, just hoping to take down one or two. Because they have wings, man.
So it's gone from birds to just basically anything that's flying now.
Yeah, well, you know, Tara is a big fan of cats, and along with that alliance comes a certain distaste for flying things, really.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, go ahead and just roll an attack roll and see what we get.
Nice. 8.
Okay.
At least it's in vain as suspected.
Yeah, as these bats start to kind of peter out and you start to see the swarm kind of lessening, you do kind of get up a little bit, try and get your bow and arrow out, and you take a pot shot, but it does fall a little bit short, and you just kind of curse at them as they disappear off into the darkness.
Flying things.
You
Yeah,
continue
come
on.
back, I'll kill you.
These steps, and these steps seem to go on forever. It's quite it's quite draining mentally and physically. It seems to be that you're stepping and stepping and stepping for what seems to be hours. And again, the air starts to get thinner and thinner the higher you go. But almost at the point that you start to kind of give up and you resolve that, maybe this is all a trick of the mind, maybe there is nothing. You start to see something, and it's kind of like a cliff ridge at the top. You can start to see a faint outline of something that gives you the impression that you are now nearing the top of these mountains. One by one, you start to reach the top of these steps, the top of these mountains, and you take a moment or two and you look behind you, you look below, and you can see just how far you've come, and you can see that you've clambered hundreds and hundreds of feet up these mountains, and you can now see a very, very wide landscape beneath you. The top of these steps there's a couple of things that strike you. There is, so in front of you, the mountains plateau, and it's a flat area that stretches out in front of you. And it's like a small town. It's like a small village. You can see that there are houses dotted around, very similar to what you saw previously in the town before. They look to be in very bad condition. They look to be in disrepair. The houses immediately in front of you, barely anything to them. They've got huge holes in the roof, the doors completely unhinged, windows broken. There's very little of them standing all together. But you can see that it was at one point what looked to be a very large town / small village. So there's lots of houses dotted around in front of you, and off in the very, very far distance, probably about a half a mile away, maybe 3/4, is a very large castle / manor, which is at the other end of a large bridge that you can just about make sight of from where you are. But in front of you are lots of houses that are pretty much all but broken apart. And after a while standing there, something really curious happens, which is that you start to see off in the distance shapes moving about. And because of the darkness surrounding you, you can't quite tell what it is to begin with, but you can start to make out that these shapes are humanoid in appearance. And after a little while, there seems to be, out of these houses, other humanoid figures coming out of them. And they're kind of wandering around very slowly, milling about here and there. None of them are directly in front of you. On this map, you've probably got the houses at the far end of this map, where there are one or two shapes that are starting to emerge from the buildings. So you're talking about 50 feet away. So from where you are at the moment, you can't tell if any of these figures can see you. You can't see too much of them, but they do look to be about 5-6 feet tall and humanoid in appearance.
Shit, I say we go back, man. Or maybe we just take cover in these buildings.
Yeah, I think we should get into some cover. I'd assume that everyone here is hostile.
Yeah.
Can I hold an action map?
You can do, yeah. We can say that you're prepared.
Because I got 120 feet for Eldritch Blast. So if any of the figures turn hostile, I want to, cast Eldritch Blast as soon as they turn hostile.
Yeah, that's no worries. If they do, then we can say that you can kind of get a first move on them or a retaliation on them. That's fine. So yeah, you've got, I mean, from where you are, you can kind of make out these figures, which the closest ones are about 50 feet away, which again, if we kind of say, I'm going to annotate really quickly. if we kind of say you are literally at the foot of these steps here, then that would put the closest of these figures around here. And they're just kind of very slowly shuffling about. They're walking, but they're walking at a very, very slow pace. And there's a couple just kind of going in and out of those houses, just where that question mark is.
I don't know about you fellas, but I think it's not remotely a coincidence that they're 50 feet away and that my hunting rifle reaches 80 feet.
Shit, man. Hold on for a second. Let's try and work this thing out.
Well, let's see what they do.
Okay, I'll follow you with my bow, man.
I mean, to be fair, if someone shot at me, I'd react pretty angrily. So maybe that's not the best tactic.
While they're all having this conversation, Allbrand slowly catches up with them, completely out of breath.
Wheezing as he gets on the top.
Goes, what we seen right over there? Oh, hello, my spectral friends. Hello. Oh, wait.
So as you're calling to them, they don't seem to take any attention. They don't seem to really notice. You're not sure whether it's that they can't hear you or whether they're just ignoring you, but they're just still kind of walking back and forth.
Shit, dog. They're just motherfucking ghosts of the last town. Let's just walk on through.
Yeah, let's walk up to them. If they, I'm going to carry on saying hello all the time I'm walking up to them.
All right.
Well, I'm the nice one out of us.
I know, but we are trying to be discreet.
Discreet about what? He knows we're coming.
Yeah, but
How does he said hello?
We're going to this cool tactical approach and go through the buildings and stuff, but it's all out the window.
You ain't nice to me, man.
So, where are we on the map? Just at the top of the stairs at the moment.
So you were there.
Yeah.
You just literally got to the top of the stairs, and from where you are, you can see the remnants of a large village/small town just sprawling out in front of you.
If you guys want to sneak around the houses, I'll just walk into the middle and just stand there. Hello.
While Allbrand's making a bit of a distraction, perhaps. I mean, they haven't noticed, but keep going. I'd like to just investigate all those interesting-looking boxes and barrels for the sake of any additional bits and pieces we might have with us.
Yeah, we do that. Let the old dude kill himself.
All right.
Hello.
So I'll run off towards the right-hand side because it seems to be more on that direction.
Yeah, can I go that way as well? I think I'll follow Tar. I want to get some cover.
My name's Allbrand. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Let's do this. So let's say Tar and Brody have kind of ventured towards this way. Allbrand is just literally going straight up the middle. And then Ron DeBura, where are you going?
I'm going to go keep an eye on Allbrand because he's, just in case they attack him.
That's very good.
I'm still holding my action.
Someone should do that.
So you're just going to kind of go straight up the middle and accompany him?
Crazy old cleric.
Not stand right next to him, but stand in a distance.
So we can kind of put you somewhere around here where you've got a little bit of cover, but you can.
From a distance, he stands there looking.
Or did you want to get a bit closer?
And that'll be fine.
Okay. Ron, what are you doing?
Shit, I'm just going to go up to that building with you, DeBura, and just stand there and watch this fool.
Feels like an episode of
Watch me or watch Allbrand?
Like Dragon Ball Z, where Goku's just in the middle.
God damn.
Kind of fucking around.
Charging a spirit bomb or something.
Everyone else is kind of hiding, and he's just sort of chatting about how cool the latest thing is. So power levels, they were really impressive. I talk to you like I'm friendly.
Here's you again, best buddy.
Now I've got myself a little bit closer, Matthew.
Yes.
Can I see what exactly they are?
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll resolve it in this way. So Deborah and Ron take the house to the left, and they stay a little bit of a distance away, keeping watch to make sure that you are protected. Ron and Deborah do that. Brody and Tar head to the right, and they start to investigate a couple of crates, couple of barrels around the nearest houses. They are empty. There isn't really much to them. They look to whatever it was that was in them have been deserted. And then Allbrand going straight up the middle, you walk past the first set of houses, past the first row, and you can start to make out what these things are. And for all intents and purposes, they look like regular people. They're wearing regular kind of peasant clothing. There's a few of them, let's say at that point just ahead of you, and they look to be male, anywhere between late 20s, early 40s, just very similar to the kind of people you've come across in the towns prior. From where you are standing, though, the one thing that you notice that although they're walking around and they're acting normal per se, there are two things that stand out. One of them is that they are not interacting with each other, and the other is that they do look to have a vacant expression on their face. It looks as though, they're almost like sleepwalking as they're walking around.
Yeah, from your vacant expression.
In the distance, you can see as the town sprawls out further, you can see dozens of people walking around. They're doing all sorts of different things. Some of them just look like they're walking aimlessly about. Some of them are carrying things, but it doesn't look like they quite know what they're doing with them or where they're taking them. Just boxes, just tools, random things. And then these ones in front of you are just kind of very slowly plodding along, walking aimlessly around.
Okay. Can I touch one of them and cast Lesser Restoration?
Yeah, you can certainly try. So let me just refresh my memory of what that does.
I can cure it of a disease or a condition affecting it. But
Yeah,
obviously
it says.
to an extent.
Yeah, it says you can cure them of blindness, deafness, paralyzation, or poison. But yeah, you can certainly give it a go if you wish to.
Yeah, I'm more just seeing if I can get a jolt out of them.
Yeah, no, that's cool. So let's say you cautiously approach someone who's nearest to you. There's a touch action, so yeah, you kind of place your hands on their shoulder and try and channel this divine energy to relieve them of what it is that's afflicting them. Nothing seems to change, so they are still there with this vacant look on their face. But as they realize you touched them, and it is a bit of a delayed realization, they stop, they turn to you, and with a very gormless way, they just say, "All hail Ashtarak." And then they turn and continue on with what it is they were doing.
Oh, well, that was bloody useful, wasn't it? Okay. Who's rustling, Dan?
Oh, sorry. I should have put it on mute.
Right, okay. Well, that didn't really work. So I don't think any of these are going to be of any use to us. They're just zombified. Kill Ashtarak, free these guys. Weighing up the options.
Oh,
Yo, Deborah, is he talking to himself?
Yeah, no, I am talking to myself because no other fucker's there, is he?
Brody breaks from cover, noticing
seems
what's going
so.
on. Yeah, it does seem like nothing's happening with these people. They're just brainwashed and absorbed by Ashtarak. So yeah, he runs up to Olbran and is like, I don't think they pose any threat. We should probably just push on.
I don't think there's going to be much. No. Mm-hmm.
I'd like to punch one of these houses down just for something to do while I'm waiting for all
Wow, frustration. Right. God damn it, man.
just a test, see if I can do it in one punch.
Yeah, go for it. Just roll an attack for me.
Unarmed, yeah. All right. Oh yeah. So, yeah. Oh, nat 20.
Okay. So let's say just kind of from frustration, seeing Olbran not really giving any answers out of this guy, you're just kind of like, and you just turn and you roundhouse one of the beams that are supporting this house. Through a combination of where you hit it and through a combination of it being so old and run down, it does just crumble in front of you. Weirdly enough, despite the noise, despite the destruction, none of these figures seem to still be phased. They seem to just be kind of oblivious to everything that's going on around them. But you maybe get one or two dirty looks from the rest of the group.
That's what I'm talking about, though, bro. You see that shit?
Right. Ron, if you finish being a twat, come here.
Ain't going nowhere near you, old man. I know what you're gonna do. Turn me into a purple motherfucker again.
No, actually, I wasn't going to cast light. I was going to do something that was like, you know, almost what I was supposed to do as part of the group. So can gather around, people, quickly, gather around before I get bored. While these people aren't fucking paying attention to us.
Crossed out.
It's off the map.
Let's go, Jackie Chan.
So I've had a 19 and a 20. And you watch, when we get into battle, I'll be rolling nat ones.
Don't you dare jinx it. Don't you dare jinx it.
No, I'm not jinxing anything. That's just what happens.
It's true.
With none of these villagers paying us any mind or any attention whatsoever, what does the future pathway hold for us?
So you're saying, what can you see in front of you, yeah?
Yeah, basically.
So, I mean, generally speaking, it is obviously very plain, very nondescript because of it being so old. It is, you can assume from what you learned, you know, a week or so ago, from relatively early on in the adventure, that this is the town of Ashtarak. Again, the guy has been very humble in naming everything, so you're on the town of Ashtarak itself. And again, where this guy has been non-existent for several hundred years, this place has been long abandoned. Having a look from where you are, you can see that the town sprawls out in front of you for a good half a mile, 2.75 of a mile, with dozens and dozens of these people just milling about. You can see that there is straight ahead of you this large manor, this small castle, kind of, it's a very large building, and you can kind of probably safely assume that that's where where Ashtarak is. It's the only big kind of, I suppose, landmark in the general vicinity.
All right. So basically, boys, Ashtarak lives in that big house at the end.
It would appear so.
So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to put you all around me. Come and gather in. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to do it. Because we're going to need to be full of full gusto as we head up to this. So, and while they're all sitting around, because nobody else is paying us any damn attention, I start casting Prayer of Healing.
Okie dokie, Smoky.
What does that do anything other than HP healing?
No, just
No, Oh, okay.
Why? What are you suffering from?
Not suffering from anything. I've just used up a lot of key points.
No, I can't give you any of them. Only a rest will do that.
Or should maybe we do a short rest then?
Did we do a short rest before?
No.
No. Oh, okay. Yeah. So no, do your Healy thing, and then I suppose we could do that as part of the short rest as well. Maybe an activity during rest, if that's what we can do. Or is there any point in doing that?
If you have a short rest, there's no point in casting the spell, because what it does is it gives you guys 2d8 plus this spell casting mod of health back. If you do a short rest, you can use as many hit dice as you want to recover health. So I would say either or. If you want to use the spell slot, that's a quick alternative to having a short rest. But it saves you a spell slot if you have a short rest.
I don't mind living
If we can do the short rest, let's do the short rest.
Oh,
Yeah, I get one of my superiority die back. That'd be nice.
Okay.
I take it we're not doing long rests anymore.
Well, at this stage, it's difficult to decipher if it's going to be safe enough to have a long rest. So you're pretty confident with these folks walking about that if you don't disturb them too much, they probably won't disturb you. So you kind of find a quiet corner and you kind of have about an hour's rest, keeping an eye out just to make sure that none of them become aggressive, which they don't. Some of them even pass by you pretty close and they don't pay you any mind. So you can kind of sit and rest for an hour or so and just recover and just feel a bit more refreshed before moving on.
God damn, I feel good.
I just used all my barbarian dice and I still didn't get myself up to 4 HP.
Which dice is it that we use? Is that a D8 that we roll?
It's relevant to your class.
Yeah.
D10. So.
Okay, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I use my D12s for my barbarian.
Yeah.
And it didn't put me up to full HP.
1d10 per fire level. Cool. All right.
Yeah, so if you're level 6, you'll have a maximum of 6 hit dice. So you can use as many as you want during a short rest, but once they're all gone, they're all gone. And you only recover them once you have a long rest. So you can be as tactful as you like. You can use as few or as many as you want to, but until you have a long rest, you don't get them back.
Cool. Okay, I'm going to use those two then. Okay. Cool.
yay, max HP from using one D8.
Strong.
So once you've gone and done everything you need to, just let me know and we'll move things along.
Yep, good to go here.
Is anyone else going to do? I can see Bora.
Did we lose James?
Cars missing a few. Are you going to recover any or?
I already used them. I was just renaming myself.
I'm just trying to work out what my short rest die is.
It's more than likely a D8, isn't it?
Yeah, rangers are a D8, so you can use up to 6 of them to recover however many HP you want. You may only need to use 1, depending on what the roll is.
Yeah, great.
Certain spells you might get back. I'm not sure offhand exactly whether it's a long or a short rest, depending on what spells you've got, but you might recover some. But yeah, I mean, while you guys are kind of just finalizing everything, I can move things along just very, very slowly.
Sorry, I was just going to say it's a D10 for Ranger. I just caught it there.
D10.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's decent.
Got the handbook open. Sorry, man.
That's cool.
How many do I need?
Pretty good for Rangers, actually. So you guys take a short rest in a quiet corner, and you keep an eye out. And again, nothing does disturb you. So you go for the whole hour without being interrupted or facing any kind of attack or anything. And seeing this large building off in the distance, you can surmise that that's where you need to go. So you make your way through the town gradually, and again, you're completely undisturbed by these figures that are walking around. And as you go further through the town, you can see more and more, and it looks as though they all have the same blank, almost dead to the world expression on them, but they're carrying out menial tasks. It doesn't look like they're doing anything of note. It looks like, for all intents and purposes, they're acting or behaving as they would do if they did have the faculties to them. But it just looks like they are, lights are on, but no one's home kind of thing. And you walk through the town, which takes a short while, takes about 10 minutes or so before you start to get much, much closer to where this large building is. And you start to make out a couple of things. You can see that as you approach, as you approach the edge of the town, there is a large bridge that is separating you from I'm trying to get this to work, it's going really slow. I might just turn off screen share for a second, see if that speeds it up. So you approach the edge of this town, and you can see that there's a large bridge separating the town from this large building that you've spotted off in the distance. The bridge itself looks to be sturdy. It looks to be made of stone. It stretches diameter-wise probably about 40 feet. So you know that you can quite easily walk across it if you need to. And at the foot of the bridge, either side of it, are these two large, almost like gargoyle type statues that are sitting there. Okay, I can get it up now so you can see a bit clearer. The bridge extends quite a ways, so it stretches several hundred feet further off into the distance, and you can see below you there is a very large drop which leads into a body of water, which as you look further off towards the left-hand side, you can see that that's going. The current is going quite strong off to the left-hand side, but we can say that where you are now is. So we can say you're about here. You're about the edge of the town, and you can see these large gargoyle-type statues at either end of this bridge. There are no railings to this bridge. It is literally just a flat bit of stonework that reaches from where you are all the way off to this large manor off in the distance.
I feel like we're walking right into a trap.
It does seem that way.
Yeah, and who builds a bridge without any railings on the side? That's just crazy, man.
Goddamn dangerous.
Not the dwarven way.
No. Well, is it?
I don't know. They seem to like caves. I'm happy just to carry on going across the bridge, but I can. Is that a wagon I can see?
I was thinking the same thing.
It is a wagon, yeah.
Well, I can't help think that we should perhaps
push the wagon on the bridge first, see if anything happens.
I was going to
That's
think
not a bad
It's
idea.
good. It's
actually.
good.
one of us could pull straws and one of us could hide on the wagon, and then we just sort of roll it and see how far it gets.
Is this how someone's going to die? Hiding
Uh,
into a wagon?
Ron's going to go and climb on top of one of those gargoyles.
No, don't do it.
And he's going to wrap his arms around its neck.
Oh, God damn.
Just in case.
That's not you, Ron.
Was that my man?
Was I snoring you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it is your death sentence.
Right.
Is another character dead for poor Dan? Another character death to add to the list.
Hell no, I got the goddamn advantage here, man.
So, Tara, are you still going towards this car, or was that kind of next when Ron started to run towards one of these gargoyles?
Yeah, I guess it was.
Okay. So let's just mark you out individually like we did on the other maps. Let me just get rid of this. So we will say, doesn't matter necessarily which order you guys are in. So most of you are back here. So we've got Tom, we've got Brody, we've got Deborah, and we've got Allbrand, all back here currently. And then Ron has just kind of run towards. Any preference on which one?
Left or right?
I'm going to say left.
Okay. So he's just kind of run around,
Our buff's gone.
steamrolled up towards this thing and jumped on the back of it. Now,
Triple backflip.
the statues themselves are about 8 feet tall, so it's not really that difficult to do that. So yeah, you kind of run up, and as you kind of get closer, you kind of turn your back and do a backflip, but you manage to jump on the back of him. James has gone,
Yeah.
so I don't know whether we should wait for him to come back.
Yeah.
See what
Yeah.
happens. He hasn't sent anything in the chat yet, so we'll give him a second or two.
He dropped out once before and then returned rather sharpishly. So hopefully it's. Not...
Even though he said he was done.
Um,
Oh, that was on the last session. Yeah.
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 Yeah, he had
Right,
enough.
I'm done.
I'm done, but I'm not.
That was just after I said that he couldn't cast his Thunderwave as well.
Yeah.
I'm not playing this game. It's stupid.
Saying I can't use my spell.
He says, "Do you want anything?" Oh, no, that's my mum asking if I want anything from Tesco. Sorry. We'll give it a second and see what happens. But
I might go and get a snack and maybe go for a piss. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for a pee.
yeah,
mate.
Sounds good. I might pause the recording, so
Yes.
say
Ah, okay.
no worries. No worries. Right.
Oh, you move back into your room?
I'm gonna see if my
That's
D&D
true.
gang is what's causing the problems.
That's not a bad idea, actually. Yeah, maybe.
Tell you what, your image is clearer.
Yeah, great. You suddenly tell me that my D&D room can't be flipping used for what it could be.
All that time and money invested.
Well, there are ways to solve that.
Yeah, you can get a booster box maybe or something.
Yeah, but we'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
Also, you could just like drop a cable, depending on where things are in the house. You could just drop a cable down the window.
Unless I drill holes in walls and through floors and things.
No, not out one window, down the other. I've done that before.
Right. So where did we get with the bridge? What were your ideas before I pissed off?
Right. Well,
Ron
Dan or Ron has basically run up to one of these gargoyle figures and jumped on the back of them.
Oh, that sounds like Ron. Yep.
Yeah.
What?
There's
We're
this-
talking about you, not to you.
Oh, sorry, I'll leave.
I might have attempted to talk him out of it, but no, I wouldn't have tried very hard.
Probably one of those moments where it's like, please no, don't. Okay. So
Okay. Did anybody actually just think about grabbing one of those barrels and like pushing it out onto the bridge to see what happened?
Actually, I
about
do
the
like the
car.
idea of getting one of those barrels and maybe using the wagon. Yeah, this is a good idea, guys. All right, so what we should do is we should take the wagon and try and use it as a bit of a lever. Try and dig it underneath one of those gargoyles, because we all know what gargoyles do, right? We don't trust them. We don't think that these are good things. Let's try and tip them into the water, right? And let's use the barrels as the weight on the back to try and give us that extra oomph to tip these things into the water.
I choose to push the one with Ron sitting on it.
Are we going to be able to do that?
well, this is the thing. So I was waiting for you all to come back. So what happens, we can say that, perhaps Tar starts to edge towards this wagon and try and, devise a plan to use it and the barrels to try and move things along. But with Ron jumping on the back of this gargoyle, immediately after he does it, it starts to move.
Damn it, Ron.
As does the other one. So this one that Ron has jumped on the back of, it starts to kind of stand and rise up, and it starts kind of trying to walk, and the other one starts to move as well, and it's to kind of move around, and you can see very, very slowly chips of stone start to fall off as it starts to move about. The other thing, which really takes you aback, this big building off in the distance, which is still a little bit of a blur because it is quite far away, something starts to move from that as well. So you can see from the top of this building, something starts to fly off from the roof, and it slowly starts to descend upon you. And what it is
Sorry, which building?
From the
castle
that you're approaching now.
Good.
So as you're kind of, I suppose, the confusion, the realization that these things in front of you are actually moving, you don't recognize it at first, but there is something that starts to move from the castle. And even from there, you can see it's pretty large, and it starts to flap these large wings that come towards you. And there is a very large stone-like dragon that drops on the bridge. And it looks to be about 20 feet long. It is very wide, so it takes up the vast majority of this bridge. And it lets out a large roar with these chips of stone spewing from its mouth. So roll for initiative.
I gone fucked up here.
Hey guys, I think I'm just gonna go. This was great, but
It was a good game. It lasted.
I'll see you later. Bye.
Just gonna jump on Broom.
Come back. I'm stuck on the sea.
Me.
Shit.
Right, so bear with me 2 seconds. I'm going to jot down my results.
Let me just close the door. Yeah.
Shit, this fucking t-shirt's for a skinny person.
Okay. Did anyone get above 20?
Correct, right here.
Oh,
21.
Okay, cool. Anyone between 15 and 20?
18 for Brody.
Sorry, I haven't rolled yet.
God damn it.
Why?
So, Tar, let me know if you get anything above a...
I got 20.
You got 20?
Ooh.
Okay. Cool. So, above 20, 15 to 20. Anything between 10 and 15?
11.
Okay. And All Brown, what did you get?
I got 7.
Okay.
Classic over.
Classic.
What's your initiative, like -10?
It's only -1, but as soon as you click on it to roll a dice, it just, yeah. It's like D&D Beyond knows just how old and slow I am.
It rolls a D4 for you.
So, we're going to start with Ron. So, Ron, you're straddling this large gargoyle near a cliff edge. What do you want to do?
Here we go.
Goddamn. I'm going to wrap the ebony flail around its neck multiple times. And I'm going to try and take control of it.
If you're kind of like grabbing onto it like that, how are you going to get the thing out?
Yeah, one hand. I grab hold on one hand and then grab the ebony flail with the other, and round. It'll just wrap. Use the flail on the, end to go round, and I'll grab the flail and the handle, and then use them as like reins.
Okay. I'm going to ask you, because you're going to take a hand off, to make an athletics check to see if you can get hold of it.
This is like some sort of rodeo Ron thing going on. Just like,
I mean, I rolled a 17 plus 421.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you just about managed to hang on. It isn't bucking too wildly because it is very slow moving. So you kind of take advantage and you manage to very quickly whip out your flail. So from there, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna like swing it round, wrap it round its neck. So I'm gonna go for a, like as if I'm gonna go for a hit, but I don't want the end of it to hit it. I want it to wrap round his neck, and then I'm gonna grab the flail end just before too much of the length continues round, and then I'm gonna use them like reins.
Okay, cool. Let's say do a standard attack roll just to see if you can do that.
What's my attack plus 6? Oh, nat 20.
Okay, well, yeah, so essentially it's relatively easily done. Again, these figures are quite slow moving, so with your quick reflexes, you not only manage to take out the flail by almost in one smooth motion at the same time, while holding on to like its neck with the free hand, you swing this flail around and very quickly grab the other hand. So you've now got this this weapon around its large stone neck that you can just about manage to hold on.
And now holding on to that. So what's that counting as? My action, yeah?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Right. So as a bonus action, I'm going to go for a double headbutt.
Like they're stone.
I don't give a shit.
That's gonna hurt.
First one's a nat 1. Second one is a 13.
Okay, so on the first one, let's say that once it realizes that it's got this thing around its neck, it does move that much that you kind of miss completely. Not bucking again, but just kind of with the weight of it, it's quite heavy, quite sturdy. You do get thrown off a little bit. And then you do go to hit it a second time, but it seems like the stone itself is so thick and so dense that you don't manage to clock it quite hard enough to do any damage.
Oh, shit.
That was smart.
That was a bad idea. So the ebony flail, it hit. Oh, we're going for a hit. I'm not going to keep... Oh, no, that's not a hit. All right. So, yeah, I'm finished. So I'm still pretty much grappled onto the... I've got control of this thing, yeah?
Yeah, to a degree, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm finished.
Okay.
Thank God for that.
Well, I'm interested in seeing where this goes. Tar, you're next.
Okay, I'd like to jump up onto the roof of the house that I'm right next to.
Okay. That is going to involve an acrobatics check because the house is a good kind of 15. The roof is about 15, 18 feet high.
When I say jump, I mean just sort of clamber, really. I don't mean to be too colloquial about it. Like, just, get up high. I don't need to do a backflip.
Okay, just because jump and clamber that's fine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you would normally sacrifice a foot of movement per kind of vertical climb, but you're right next to the building, so you can quite easily traverse it, so that's fine. So we'll plonk you on the roof like so.
Nice. Thank you very much. In that case, I'd also like to put my hunter's mark on the nearest gargoyle with that Ron has on him, and start taking pot shots with my hunting rifle.
Okay, cool. So you'll get 2 attacks. So if you roll to attack with the first one.
Yeah. That is a 16.
Yeah, 16's enough.
Okay, nice. So that is 2d10 piercing. Okay. 2 of those. That is, let's say that's a 14. No, 40.
14.
40. Does that make sense?
No. It should be 2d10. And
Hang on, let me switch dice rollers because I'm using an app which I'm trying to be clever with, and I think it might be a bit too advanced for me.
Just do the roll a die on Google.
Yeah,
just
that's what I was thinking. There we go. 11.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, taking up a good position on the roof of the building, you manage to take sight of it. Ron controlling it helps to keep it very still, and you manage to lodge a bullet into its chest, and you again can see like chips of stone flying off as it manages to pierce it.
Cool. That's not including my extra 1d6 from Hunter's Mark. So,
Okay, so roll that as well then.
okay, so that is an extra 6 points. So 17.
Okay, cool. So 17 on the first hit then. So yeah, so if you want to attack again, you just need to do the same thing again. So d20 first and see what happens.
My d20 was a 2.
Okay, so let's just say from a combination of the bucking from Ron being on top of it and it being hit with this first bullet, it kind of moves around so quickly that the second one does fly past it.
All right then. That's me.
Shit.
Okay, Brody.
Does the dragon look like it's going to engage, or is it kind of sitting back at the moment, just waiting?
It's difficult to tell. I mean, obviously it's hostile, but you don't quite know without doing some sort of check whether you can tell whether it's going to make a move or not.
All right. For the moment, I'll engage the gargoyle on the right to make sure that that's occupied, and if the dragon jumps in, then I'll get involved. But yeah, will I make it there? Or actually, no. I'll click my heels together and activate Boots of Speed, and then I'll go for the gargoyle on the right.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you rush up to it and engage it in combat. So go for it.
I'm going to say hello. All right. So attacking with my longsword, usual attack 20 to hit.
Yep.
Gets a 13 then plus radiant. Where's my bloody radiant? All right, yeah. So the sword hits for a total of 21.
Okay.
And my hand axe, I come in with a hand axe then, which hits to hit is 15.
15 does hit.
All right, and that does 6 damage. And then I'm gonna rinse and repeat. So longsword goes with my extra attack. Longsword, shit, gets a 9.
9 will miss.
Yeah, and then hits with the hand axe as well, which gets a 13.
That will miss too.
Bollocks. All right, and that's me.
Okay, so you come in with this windmill style attack, manage to get a good couple of hits in on him, but he does manage to parry you with the second couple of hits. But you still manage to get a couple of hits, so that's cool. Right, so it is the gargoyles that are going to make a move now. We'll go in, let's see. Okay, so the first one that Ron is currently straddling, he is going to attempt to buck you off. So if you make a strength check, just a standard straight up strength check against his and see what happens.
21.
Okay, you got an
Bloody hell.
So
Good rolls.
he does try and throw you off, but you are that nimble that he can't quite manage to get you off of him. So he can't quite attack you, but what he is going to do is he's going to use his movement to fly 50 feet in the air.
Yeah.
He's now 50 feet up, but he still has you on his back. The second one is going to try and attack Brody with these two claws. So he is going to try and hit once. For where is it? +4. 20, not natural, but 20.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, so with the first one, he does 8 slashing damage, and then with the other one that comes rearing around, that one is only a 12. So that one will no doubt miss.
Yep.
So he manages to hit you once, and then you kind of parry him with your weapon so that you only take the one attack.
All right.
The dragon is going to move separately, so it is Deborah's turn next.
Okay. I'm gonna be aiming for the gargoyle on the right,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to get a line of sight that I don't hit Brody.
Yeah, you're there at the moment, so I mean you've got a clear shot at him.
So I'm gonna go fire my 2 Eldritch Blasts at that one.
Mm-hmm.
Fire the first one for a nat 20.
There you go.
Now being 18.
Okay.
Nice.
Gonna fire my next one. For a 23.
That will hit.
And that is 6.
Okay. So you manage to aim just around the side of Brody, hit off these 2 blasts of energy, which again, just as these gargoyles are taking bits and bits of stone and chipping off, and you can see that this one on the right has now got a very, very large crack in the center of it. You can start to see cracks forming around the middle of its body as you're whacking away at it and wailing away at it as time goes on. Do you want to move or do you want to stay where you are?
I want to stay where I am at the moment, but can I shout out to Brody and say, "Aim for the crack"?
Sure.
Now I'll be happy to do
Always
so.
Oh,
Okay.
he's getting his crack.
Aim at the crack.
No problem. I'm just checking one thing. Okay.
Oh, bugger.
Right.
I don't.
So, the dragon is going to move next. Now he is going to fly up and towards you two.
Oh, bollocks.
Oh shit.
Is that on you guys?
That's not what I wanted.
How high is he?
And as he kind of flies like
Oh,
not vertically, he flies across, so he doesn't.
Right.
He goes along this way.
yeah.
He's got pretty big movement, and what he does, he doesn't physically attack you, but as he lands, he lets out this deafening roar. I need you both to do a Constitution saving throw.
Cool. I got a 19.
Ooh, 19.
Okay,
We are linked.
so
Where were you when I needed my initiative then?
I'm so sorry now I don't get disadvantage.
just double checking this one last time. Okay, so as he roars, you are a little bit taken aback, but nothing seems to happen. So you're all good there. but he is going to try and hit you both with one of his large stone-like claws. So he's going to go for Allbram first. Oh, natural 20 on that one.
Oh,
Shit.
So, okay.
You can take it.
Where have they all gone?
It's only 36 d6, isn't it?
Ooh,
oh,
ironic. Throw reversal.
So you take 20 slashing damage,
Jesus Christ.
and then he's going to take his other claw and try and hit Deborah,
yeah.
which will be a 23 to hit,
Yeah.
and that will do 13 slashing damage.
13, cool.
And that is his turn. Then we come round to Allbran.
Great. Now I've been smashed in the face by a giant dragon. Cool. I'm going to use oh, he's right next to me, isn't he?
Yeah.
I was gonna do all of my little bits and pieces. All right. Fuck all the little bits and pieces. I'm going to cast Inflict Wounds at level 2.
Okay. I need to do something, don't I?
No, you don't. It's a melee attack roll.
Okay.
And I'll see your natural 20 and raise you a natural 20, you biatch.
Okay.
Touche.
That gives me 8d10 damage.
Thanks.
Oh, that's broken.
54 points of damage.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Ow, that really hurt.
Yeah, you're telling me. So, I mean, that's such a ridiculous amount. Just remind me how it looks when you cast this spell. What we're seeing is you do this ridiculous number of damage.
My inflict wounds. So I create the necromantic aura on the end of my warhammer. So my warhammer is black with necromantic smoke as I swing it and connect.
Okay.
Whoa.
So that
Such a
manages
crazy
to,
spell.
strike him in a very vulnerable spot. So you hear a loud, again, very similar to what he did when he dropped in front of you, a piercing roar in pain this time as the axe manages to connect. He is pretty sturdy, so although that did hurt, he looks pissed, basically, now you've done that.
Awesome. Yeah, great. I've upset a dragon. Okay, and now I've used a big spell. Shit. No, I'm gonna have to leave it where it is, I think.
Okay.
Yes. That'll be my turn.
Okay. Round 2. Ron, you're flying on a gargoyle 50 feet up. What do you want to do?
Right, is there any way that I can take control of this thing? What I'm thinking is I'm going to pull the chain even tighter just to like squeeze it around his neck a little bit. I understand he is stone, but
Yeah,
okay. No, I haven't got a butt.
I will meet you halfway. If you do animal handling check, even though he's not technically an animal, then we'll see what you can do with him.
20. What's going on?
Nice. So yeah, you manage to somehow take control of him while he's in flight. So What do you want to do?
What are his abilities?
I mean, not a lot in the sense that he can do basically melee attacks with his claws, and you can move him up to 50 feet as he's flying. So you can move him around the board if you want to, up, down, across, wherever you want to.
Okay. First of all, I'm going to lean forward and whisper in his ear, "You're mine now, bitch." And then I'm going to fly over to the other gargoyle, dive bomb it, and I'm going to, I don't know, like pull on the chains to so he clenches his feet together, and just as he lands on the gargoyle to try and pick him up.
Okay. That is going to be quite a tricky thing to do because these things are about 400 pounds, 500 pounds. How am I going to do that? So you can control him to move there, that's for sure, and then you can get him to somehow grasp on to the other one. You want to like raise him up off the floor, right?
I just want to pull him into the water.
Okay. I tell you what, let's do because I mean he is still literally on the cliff edge there. Make an attack roll, and if it's good enough, if it deals enough damage, we can say you do knock him off the side.
That one.
Oh, hate to see it.
So you're still on the gargoyle, but as it gets closer towards this other one, you somehow manage to lose control a little bit. So it does start to reach towards it, but it does then kind of fall flat. And so you're kind of now plonked next to this other gargoyle. You're still on the back of it, you still got control of it, but it didn't quite manage to grab it as you'd first anticipated it would do.
What else do I get? The rest of my moves, my personal moves, or is that?
Yeah, I mean, technically you could jump off, risk an opportunity attack and move if you want to, or you can try and attack it while you're still on it. Yeah.
Can I try and make him fly up any further? Well, I suppose I've come down 50 feet, haven't I? You've actually given me an extra bit of distance there.
Its movement will have expired, yeah.
What to do? I'm just going to stay on it for now.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to stay on it and use a key point for patient defense.
Okay. Cool.
That's it. That's me done then.
Okay. No worries. Tar, you're next.
So my hunter's mark is on the wrong guy, isn't it? So I guess bonus action is hunter's mark on the dragon. And I'm just going to continue my sniping motion for a bit. So yeah, try and get a couple of hunting rifle shots in on the dragon. So to hit is a nat 20. So
Hey,
there we go. That would be a damage of 9.
That doesn't
Wait,
sound...
no, wait, sorry, I'm misreading that. That's a damage of 14.
So when you get a nat 20, you basically roll double the hit dice. So if you've rolled 2 d10s, you can roll another 2. Or is that 14 including all 4 of them?
No, that was just 2. So, okay, let's go again. 19. That's including my d6 for Hunter's Mark.
Okay, so 19.
33 altogether.
Okay.
This dragon's getting critted.
Okay. So that's the first attack.
Clocked in the face with a sniper and then smashed in the face with a hammer.
So are you going to attack again, or are you going to do anything else?
Yeah, I've got 2 of them, haven't I? So same thing again. Just do my 20, 17.
That one's a miss.
Duh.
Wow.
So
First seems to hit, second one seems to miss.
so the first one again, it kind of manages to, you manage to bullseye a point that seems to be very vulnerable to the dragon, and you can see large bits of stone shatter as the bullet connects. Second one, it does just miss, let's say from where it rears up in anguish. You just miss because you kind of aimed at where it was, not where it moved to as it reared up in pain. But yeah, still got a really solid shot. You going to stay put, or are you going to move, or?
How far am I from the other building?
Let's see. Definitely too far to walk. 5. Hang on. I mean, you're talking 60, 70 feet. That's not including the distance getting off that building and getting on the other one. So altogether, you'd need to expend about 90 feet of movement, if not 100.
So would you say it's about 30 feet to get to Olbran and Dabura?
You'd probably get halfway there because you're going to use about 20, 15 feet to get down off the building, and then you're probably going to get to about halfway there.
Okay.
No.
I'll make my way towards the dragon in that case, because I think I need to get a bit closer.
Okay.
Because we're using the maximum of my 80 feet range, I think, by the sounds of it.
Well, from where you are to where the dragon is, it is, I mean, if you were off the building, you're talking 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, about 35 or 40 feet. So where you standing off the building, you'd probably be able to get there, but escalating structures or descending them, you use more movement. So we can probably put you safely about here, give or take.
Cool.
And we'll move a tiny bit closer, maybe, because that's probably a little bit short, because you've got 40 feet of movement, right?
Okay. Can we sort of put me towards the back of the rear of the dragon?
Towards the bridge.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do 5, 10, 15. Kind of here-ish, I guess.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, cool. Brady.
I've been thinking all this time about this move, and I'm still not sure. Yeah, no, I'll stay with the gargoyle. The dragon seems to be being handled by Olbran and Dabura. So yeah, Brody will stay put and he'll do his usual attacks. So he'll go for a longsword strike on the gargoyle, and he gets a 23 to hit, which
Yeah, that hits.
is positive. So and he hits for 13 damage.
Okay.
And he's going to follow up with his hand axe for 16 to hit.
Yeah, that one will hit too.
Brilliant. And that's for 5 damage.
Okay.
And then he'll do it again, so he'll hit for his long sword, 25 damage, 25 to hit, sorry. So that's fine. That is for 11 damage. Really? That's a bit shit. And then to follow up the hand axe again to hit is a 25, and damage of that hand axe is 9.
Okay.
9.
So, you are literally just a human dwarven windmill of blades. So you literally come flying in with these two weapons, chop, 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 and you literally pick this thing apart to the point that it literally starts to crumble underneath you as you start to hit away at it. And after you've finished with this flurry of blows, it lays as a pile of dust and rubble at your feet.
Nice.
Bloody hell.
Like that.
Let's on that topic. Let's do an action surge as well, so we can do an additional action. Can I turn around and I throw my hand axe at the dragon?
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
Oh, fuck off. No.
So I shouldn't laugh at my colleague.
Yeah, no, it's a 10, so do I want to use my superiority die? Ah, fuck it. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a precision attack. So I'm gonna add a superiority die roll. Actually, no, that's only a D8. No. I'm gonna miss with that. Damn it.
Okay. Yeah, so unfortunately that axe does fall short, but hey, you've taken the gargoyle out, so that's all good.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah, that's all meat.
Cool. It is the lone gargoyle's turn again. So he is once again going to try and remove Ron from him. So we'll do another strength check, opposing, just to see what happens. Oh, wow.
14.
Yeah, you are firmly in control of this gargoyle.
Yes.
That will be.
I told you.
This
Mitch.
isn't meant to be what happens with gargoyles.
This isn't at all what I planned. So yeah.
Can you make this a thumbnail? How to screw a DM again, part 2.
Yep.
I think the DM's enjoying this one. Though.
Yeah, let's turn one of the gargoyles into a giraffe.
That's not a bad idea.
It's not a giraffe, it's a giraffe.
Giraffe.
You're a giraffe.
Giraffe.
Giraffe. Yeah, that's it.
I do have a toy giraffe behind me that I can get. So
Options there.
I still don't. I've got a giant purple worm, but still no giraffes.
You're
I've got-
lagging.
I've got a giant. I've got a giraffe. I've got lions. I've got a sheep. I've got a hippo. I've got lots of Playmobil and Sylvanian families. So just take a pick.
Nice.
I'd love to see them on a battle map.
You know what? Like they've done, haven't they? Critical Role. They've done like one shots of things like where they're all goblins, where they do Diablo, where they do all sorts of stuff. So we could do like a Sylvanian family.
Yeah, that would be good. I'd like that. Armor him up as well. Custom armor out of cardboard. All right, anyway.
We missed the bus to school. How will we get there? So you've got like this
I
guy.
roundhouse kick the bus.
You've got like a guy in a trench coat, like, hey kids, want to come in my white van? It's like, hey, do it.
Oh, wow.
Perception check to see if you can tell if he's being truthful to you.
Got so dark.
Have ice cream in this white van.
That
Let's
went
move on very
dark so
quickly.
quickly.
Something's happening.
Yes,
I'm
it
not
did.
sure Matt should make that one.
No. I mean, I don't know.
They don't show that in the adverts.
Where was I? I've lost track of everything now. So Deborah is next after the gargoyle.
Cool. So I'm going to go change my target to the big giant thing that tried to kill me.
Good shout.
So that'll be 2 Eldritch Blasts. Fire 1 for 25.
That's it.
And that'll be a 9 damage for the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Fire 2. For 19.
Yeah, that does hit.
And there's a 14.
Okay. So yeah, being point blank range, you managed to quite easily hit with both bolts dead center on this dragon. It too now, like the gargoyles prior to him, is starting to show signs of wear and tear. There are cracks forming across its body. You can start to see that it is slowly starting to crumble apart as these attacks are hitting it. It is melee distance, so if you do move, it'll be an opportunity attack. But did you have anything else that you did want to do?
Let's go see if I got anything. Nope.
Okay. So it is the dragon's turn again. What am I going to do?
Half.
Okay.
Right.
So it is going to rinse and repeat. So it is going to try and hit both of you with one of its stone claws. So let's say this is who did I attack first last time? Orbran.
Orbran.
He tries to hit you with a 18 to hit.
That is a miss.
So he comes with this giant claw rearing towards you, but you manage to block it as it gets towards you. Deborah, he's going to try and hit you with one of his claws as well. For a 12 to hit.
Wow. That's a miss.
So clearly the wear and tear is starting to set in with this thing, but it does make one final attack. It turns slightly and tries to strike, let's say, odds and evens. It tries to strike Deborah with its tail, which will be, what is that? A 17 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
And it comes bearing down on you for 17 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, bloody hell.
Ooh.
Okie dokie.
That's a
But
big hit. That's a big hit for somebody as squidgy as him. Shit.
But that is all it can do. It is going to stay put, so it is now Allbrand's turn.
Great. Rinse and repeat. Fuck it, why not? All of my good spells are at distance and I'm in combat, so yeah, stuff it. All right, yeah, no, I rub the end of my hammer. I surround it with necromantic. I take a huge swing. Oh, that's a 23 to hit.
It will indeed hit.
Oh, only 4d10 this time.
Friendly.
That's not bad. 31.
Damn.
Okay. So as you come bearing down with it with your axe, again with this necromantic energy emanating from it, you manage to once again get such a powerful hit in such a sensitive area that it slowly crumbles away in front of you. With one final roar, it manages to collapse in a heap of rubble in front of you and your colleague.
Dang!
Nice.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Just like that.
So powerful.
Yeah. Okay.
Just normal spells.
I think I broke a rib.
Nuts.
Wow.
Yeah, we better tend
Right.
to...
Okay. Then can I ask So obviously I've cast the spell, but because I've got the circlet of blasting, which is an infused magical item, does that count as a can't cast 2 spells in one turn?
Yeah, you'd have to choose one or the other. So as your action, you can cast a spell or use the circlet.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I've got my spell. All I've got left is my bonus action is rage. Don't really want to rage. No, that's me done. Yeah, cool. I might just I wander off into the middle of the thing, just sort of gauging, ready for jumping in on the last remaining gargoyle, even though I don't think it's going to last much longer.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Back to run again.
So I'm going to pull the chain to make it take off, and it's only going to go up slightly, and I'm going to like pull back so that it goes backwards and dive bomb straight down into the water with me on the back of it. I'm going to ride it into hell. And as it hits the water, I am going to soften my fall by jumping off at the very last minute, and hopefully that will cause some damage.
Okay. So to give you an idea, from where you're standing to the water below, about 60 feet or so. So and that's like right at the verge of the water. It does, you can assume, get deeper as you get further along. So you can certainly try and do that and try and kind of make it crash into the water below, but you would have to jump off quite early in order to manage to jump back up onto the bridge or onto the ground where you are.
Oh, I'm happy to take the risk.
Okay.
So I still want to ride it to the last minute, and yeah, see what happens. I'm a monk. You know what I mean? I can fucking be running up.
What can go wrong?
All right. Well, let's do that then. So I mean, let's say you still got control of it. That's cool. You managed to coerce it into flying up and then dive bombing towards the water. Do a acrobatics check to see how nimbly and quickly you can jump off.
24.
Okay. So sure enough, you manage to control it in such a way that you manage to direct it towards this body of water. You fly it up a little bit, you direct it towards back down this body of water, and as you take your weapon away from it, you manage to kind of tuck your knees into your chest, kick the back of it so that you propel yourself off and do a backflip back to where you were standing. And from a combination of your control and the force that you kicked it with, it does go straight down into this body of water. And it's so heavy that because of the pull of the waves, it can't manage to get back up. So you can kind of see this large stone figure not only go like dropping to the bottom of the water, but it is no doubt being carried along by the current as well.
So I did I backflip back up to the bridge.
A 24 is that good? I'm going to say yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we'll do that.
We just stood there like, yeah, okay. Just another day for run.
I'm too busy spitting out blood.
You'll be okay, man.
I've just been watching this the whole time for the past, like, what probably is actually more like a minute.
Ignoring the fallen Dabura who's just bleeding out next to you. Like, yeah, bravo, Ron, bravo.
I'm gonna spin my rifle like Cloud Strife in Final Fantasy.
Ah, nice. Yeah,
and shove it back in my pack.
I see it. Yeah, that's cool.
Do an acrobatics.
Do a performance check. Oh, not a DM.
Does he get it?
Acrobatics check. 15.
Okay.
I was just thinking. Yeah. Hive
Cool.
mind. Like it.
That was really fun, that battle.
That was good.
So you're kind of now standing at this, well, at the end of this bridge, overlooking this river, and you've got the castle ahead of you, a good few 100 feet away. So, yeah, down to you again.
Gabura, my friend, come here, quick. I think you might need to.
Yeah.
Just to give him a boost, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on him. Oh, max 11 hit points.
Oh, that's great. Needed it.
Probably need a bit more. As well.
Oh,
We
God.
pressed it again.
So in character, this. Oh, yeah. Could actually feel the heal.
I've technically got cure wounds. I go up to Jabura and lay my hands on him in a slightly creepy way. And
Excuse me?
And cast cure wounds.
Describe the creepiness.
I just imagine like cure wounds, like you got a foot facing the opposite way and it just goes, just cracks back into position. Oh yeah,
That's fine. You're just fine.
That's
Should be
my
an
groin.
My mind, Peter, I'm a tiefling. I come from hell.
And you're fine. don't you worry about a thing.
It's gonna be all right.
Now bend over.
It's got to be
Come
an
on, tails in
inspiration
the
of
rain.
creepiness right there. Inspiration.
How much do I heal?
Cure him for, yeah.
I've got no idea. Let me check.
Didn't even look at the spell.
Yeah, I just know I've got
Focus on
it.
the creepiness.
He just wanted to go touch me up.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah.
For a
it
demon
is-
fetish.
What is it? What do I have to roll?
Yeah. Nice.
Cure Wounds is literally it's a D8 plus your spellcasting modifier.
All right. Okay. Oh, you got a 7. There you go.
Cool.
That's a bit better.
I can finally feel my ribs not being broken.
I'm not sure if he sounds grateful or not, you know. I feel like eating him with my hammer and taking my healing back.
I'm going to use this opportunity to move downstairs. So I'm going to swap laptops. Whoever's host, is that you, Bren?
Yeah.
Just let me in on my other laptop, please.
Yeah. Cool.
I think it's safe to say that it was the D&D room.
I'm afraid it does look that way, doesn't it?
Sorry to hear that, Buff.
What?
Sorry to hear that he's.
Oh,
D&D
you moved.
room.
Yeah. Oh, I've just
Is
noticed.
the problem of
It's been-
his Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's been perfect. Really.
Hey, but James, I've got a couple of spare Wi-Fi routers and stuff you could use.
Already ordered them on Amazon.
Oh, good work.
The game was going. Committed.
You could add Bren's ones to them.
Yeah, I've got like a Google Mesh unit going throughout. Well, I had it going throughout my last place, but my new flat doesn't need it because the walls are paper thin. So,
Good and bad.
yeah, exactly. So I just don't need them. But I should sell them at some point.
Yeah, if I'd have been told that earlier, I wouldn't have spent £29 and bought.
I was going to say you could have just had them.
Oh well.
Well, you can probably still cancel it if you want.
Cancel the order. If you've done
Yeah.
it now.
But it depends. Like sometimes they will, and sometimes they won't.
Well, it's Amazon. I should get lucky.
Yeah, I'll
Been dispatched. It's fine. So it won't have been dispatched yet.
Well,
What?
do what you want, James. And if you'd like me to package them up, that's cool. If you want to try using the things that you ordered, that's cool too.
Well, yeah, the fact that you're only around the corner from me, Brendan, it'll actually be pretty cool.
Yeah, no worries.
Why haven't you been doing D&D in that room anyway?
In what room?
In the room you're in.
What, my bedroom?
Yeah.
Because it's my bedroom. I've got nowhere to stick a table.
Oh, is it tiny? Oh.
No, it's huge, but I've got a double bed in the middle. It's just
Yeah, sack off the double bed. Just get yourself a sleeping bag. Sleep on the table.
Ultimate commitment.
Live the dream, boy. Live the dream.
Basically, you got to commit to your craft.
yeah, that's right. I'll live without things. Now I'll get the boosters so that I can continue with my D&D room that I've created.
It's tiny though, isn't it? It's like a cupboard.
Oh, it's a box room. It's a bedroom.
Yeah.
That's what they're for, isn't it? Hobbies.
Why don't you put your bed
And
in that
offices.
room and then have this huge room for D&D?
Because I'm pretty sure there's not even enough room in that bedroom to put a double bed in.
Don't worry about. You're only sleeping in there, waking up in the small box room, living in it. It's fine. You know what we really need is room for activities.
Yeah, that's all we need. Yeah. And you can always like saw your mattress in half or something anyways.
Well,
So, admin-wise, have you guys done what you need to do? Is there anything else you want to do before moving on?
Bren, you just got to let me in. Thank you.
That was really weird. Bren didn't have to let you in. I did.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm host. You know, I think you.
It didn't make me host again when I signed back in, did it?
Yeah,
That's
I
probably
think it did. Yeah,
Yeah, it bloody did.
it's fine. I'm recording fine, so it's not a problem.
I didn't even get hit in that battle.
No, me neither. I was just
Good for you.
taking putt shots.
I got hit in the face by a natural 20 from a stone dragon.
Yeah.
I survived. And then smacked it in his face with a nat 20 as well.
Yeah, that was tasty.
Yeah, I knew you'd be alright, so
I just crashed the whole computer. Oh, that's not good. Oh my god. My laptop has crashed. Ah.
Oh no.
This is freaky. Pushing the power button and it's not switching off.
Is it plugged in? Oh, switching off.
Is it plugged out? I've never seen that happen before. It's proper frozen. Oh, there we go. Oh, no. Oh, it came back to life and I still shut it down. Shit.
Oh,
I will just sign out of here and then come back in. Sorry,
so
guys.
impatient.
And yeah, I'm back on. What the fuck?
Technology is not our friend.
Yeah, well, this laptop's usually pretty good. It's a work laptop, and it's a nice Dell laptop. But for some reason, I think it's probably just because I'm logged into on the same Zoom account via 2 devices is probably freaking with it.
Probably, yeah.
Might be.
If you guys progress and just deal me in, make appropriate moves to Brody, and I'll see you guys in a second. Later.
Okay.
Brody jumps off the bridge head first. I beat him to it.
I'd like Brody to carry that massive log that's on the left
Climb down that 60-foot cliff.
and just decide that it's a really interesting log to bring with us from the rest of the thing. He misses the carpet, brothers.
The final
He was a
session.
mega
Didn't you know
massive
you've been
club.
you've been carrying that log the whole time? What log?
The massive club that you just bought.
Oh, the carpet guys.
Oh, I do have a question, Mr. DM.
Right.
Admin wise. What about that weapon, eh?
Oh yeah.
Just,
Guy's worse than a dog with a bone.
well, it was a good idea. I want to fight Ashtarak with Elky's horns.
I will write something down for you as we go.
I mean, I don't mean to be insensitive, but I mean, Elky was only in it for like one session.
Elky was my pet. God damn you.
I'm sorry. I'm
How
sorry.
dare you, sir?
I wish I never said anything.
No, you probably shouldn't have. You bite your tongue. Elky carried Brody. The worst thing of it all is that Elky carried Brody for a whole session.
Yeah.
Elky fought battles with Brody on his back. On her back, I should say.
And then we just sacrificed her. I mean,
Oh shit!
You did once.
Oh shit!
no, we didn't. We didn't. We were just really hungry and we ran out of rations and
Listen,
one
dude,
thing, one thing led to another.
I've already been. I'm already like neutral, chaotic. Do not do. And remember, I started off lawful good. Do not tip the thing. You don't
Oh
need.
my god, this has really affected your character.
This is the thing.
This campaign.
I feel like
is
near the end
really
of this
taking its
campaign,
toll.
Tar's gonna go shoot Ron if he carries on talking about Elky.
Man, like,
No,
It's not gonna Ashtarak kill Ron. It's gonna be Tar.
I think it's going to be Allbrand is going to smash Ron in the grid with his hammer.
something's going to happen to Ron at this rate.
Are you trying to say that Ron has managed to annoy Allbrand? No.
Who would have thought?
I think he's a great character.
I've been waiting for him for 6 months. I've been waiting for him to say pity the fool. I gotta be honest with you.
No.
No, is that too on the nose, is it?
It's not Ron's style.
No, that's not me.
Right, so come on, what are we doing, boys? Are we just
I thought we were waiting for
Oh yeah. No, but he said to carry on.
Oh yeah, you said to carry on.
I was gonna say, I kind of imagined.
I don't know, but I
like
don't know
young-
about any of you, but I'm very, very tempted to stick 2 fingers up to Ashtarak and go sleep.
Well, long rest. Should we clamber down the cliff and make a little campsite under the bridge by that log? Yeah.
It sounds safer than anything else that we could possibly do.
Yeah.
But then, do we really try and take a long rest this close to Ashtarak's front door?
Well, it's either this or we go even closer. And we're not going back.
I guess the question is, do you risk bumping into a troll under the bridge?
Oh shit.
It's all right. Probably Ron's mum.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Yeah. What the fuck did you just say about my mama?
That's all right. I was just throwing some shade your way, you know.
maybe these two should have a duel.
I'd die.
Sort out their
Ron would die.
their issues.
Ron would die. He's no just straight away. I'd die. Was it? Don't just.
Yeah, Ron would die.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, right? I'm out of second. I'm out of second spell slots. I'm a rage down. I mean, yeah, I need a long rest. If we're going, if we're sort of like the next thing is Ashtarak's house, I need to recoup. I mean, how many key points you got left, Dan?
Oh, so I recover all my key points on a short rest, but on a long rest, I recover a special ability, which is really helpful, where I can just, it's a special, so you can add it on top of a move, and just recover 18 points of health.
Nice.
Yeah, come
That
on.
goes, whoop.
I reckon we attempt to set up some sort of camp.
Got a bottle of wine. We could just get a bit drunk.
Oh yeah, shit.
Actually, I've got exactly 1.5 bottles of wine, and one of them is titled "Bottle of Wine for Allbran."
Huh.
Ah.
Not sure why
Um,
I've got it, but I do have it.
Interesting.
Oh, and I've got an Armisian liter of cider. What have I got
Oh,
that?
what?
Colin,
How have you got
Carry
that?
that.
we
Dude.
bought it from that tradesman. We
What,
came
you didn't? I
across.
thought we drank all that.
No, not me. I've still got
we were
one.
saving it for when we defeated Ashtarak, so you can't drink it.
Yeah, true.
You
true.
can't drink it.
All right. Well,
Yeah, okay, right, Mr. DM.
Hello.
Get you involved in this conversation. Don't want you to think that we've forgotten you're there. Is there anywhere sensible for us to bunker down for some hours before we attempt? I mean, another question. What time of day is it?
It is the afternoon. It is probably early going on mid-afternoon. To be honest, with the sky as it is, it doesn't really make a difference. It could be first thing in the morning and it would still be that there's a very dark hanging. It's going to be very dark regardless, but it's afternoon. As far as like what you can see from where you are, it's one of those things where you're not 100% sure where the best place to go would be, or if in fact there is anywhere else, because again, like aside from this large looming building that's off in the distance, you have got the bank down below, which you believe you could probably clamber down, but obviously there is the water, which at the moment is going pretty quickly. So there is that as a risk. You have plenty of houses to bunker down in, but obviously you have all these people walking about, and although they don't seem quite with it, there is obviously something that still doesn't seem quite right with them.
I'm assuming they wouldn't appreciate us sleeping in their houses, though.
I say we just slide down this cliff and have a long rest. Fuck it. Take the risk.
Go on, good, all right. Go on, Mr. Backflip. You jump down there. You tell us if it's safe, and I might consider taking myself down there because I'm
If it's of any
196 years old, you know.
if it's of any use, I don't really need a rest myself, so I can do some sort of sentry while you're all resting up.
we also have the Bruma flying and a 50 feet rope.
Nah, just jump it.
I'm just
I'm just going to dangle the rope over the thing and tie it to like a nondescript edge of the bridge and just sort of like climb down slowly while you're all like standing looking to try and jump it.
I'm magic sliding down. That's my biggest problem at the minute.
Just before Tar gets to the ground, about 10 feet off the ground, can I cut the rope?
There's a lot going on.
This is a laugh.
Just like
But I want to see that happen.
Well, yeah, I mean, so as you start to clamber down, you can kind of see Rod's head poking over, and you're like, "Don't you do it? Don't you do it?" But he does. And I mean, the fall isn't obviously far. You manage to kind of catch yourself as you drop, and you just kind of give him a look. But yeah, you're now at the bottom of this bank. There is a fair bit of space underneath. I mean, the river itself is, again, flowing pretty steadily. It doesn't look to be too strong of a current at the moment, but it's flowing quite strongly like towards the west, so going this way. There's probably about There probably is enough room for all of you to fit underneath there. You're not 100% sure on what risk there is with the water flowing at the moment, how that would change if you were to stay down there for a long while, but there is certainly enough room for all of you to comfortably space out down there.
All right, well, I've got an extra set of scale mail with me for some reason, so I'm going to use that as a blanket and just sort of settle myself down while I wait for the rest of them to sort their act out.
Yeah.
I reckon we go into the house.
He's already down there.
Yeah.
Because I'm home, may I ask?
To be honest, now that you're down there, the one thing that you see as well is you probably could have climbed down the bank leading down there. It probably would have been a bit rough, but you didn't necessarily need to use the rope. So if you need to, you can come back up there as well.
Also fly on my broom of flying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Being 196 years old, I sit down on my bum and I scoop myself over to the edge and I sort of just push off and slide down.
With 3 bags of kit.
Well, yeah. No, I'm not carrying that much anymore. I've got rid of some of it.
Oh. Yeah. So just like Ron just jumps down the bank, like surfs down it. And is everybody else joining us, or
are we going to attempt to take like 2 short rests on the trot, or are we just going to go fuck it long rest?
Long rest. Last one.
Yeah,
With Brody as sentry potentially. I don't need to do a long rest.
I think this is the last one, really.
You never know. Could be on this bridge for the next 3 sessions. Could be under this bridge. Could be down the river.
You know what that means for next session? Lionel will be coming back.
Oh yeah,
he's already back.
It's been over a week. I mean,
yeah,
you guys have been doing this for like 10 days now, so it's been a week.
I'm not going to waste him, and he's obviously going to have to be saved for the final battle.
Oh yeah. Yeah, sure.
Cool. So are we all hunkering down under this bridge then? And
I've got no food, but
fish.
I just like gnaw on some grass or something.
We're near a river. We can fish.
Yeah.
I mean, it's up to you guys what you want to do. I mean, now that you're all down there, you can kind of see that you do have enough space to spread out a little bit. But when you go to the river, then it would be a bit treacherous because it is flowing fast enough to get caught up in there if you were to kind of wade into there. Brody, you're going to take Soul Watch, or are you guys going to alternate?
Well, I thought it was considered a short rest if you did sentries.
So what, you having a short rest or a long rest?
No, we're having a long ass rest.
Yeah, I mean, technically, you could alternate every couple of hours. Like for anyone who's missing hit points or needs something back, if you were to take like the full 8 hours, that would be enough. If there are people there who don't necessarily need as much healing up, you can kind of swap over every couple of hours, for example. As long as someone is keeping a lookout, that's cool. It's up to you how you want to kind of play it out. Because obviously if no one kept watch, anything could happen. Like, the river could all of a sudden start to come up on the bank, or something could kind of sneak up on you from, you're in a relatively vulnerable spot because something could come along and see you down there and have the advantage. So it's important to have someone on the watch.
I can swap out. I don't need a long rest. So I can join Brody and swapping out with him.
Yeah, if Tara and I each take a short rest and the rest of you guys take a long rest.
Cool.
because we'll swap out sentries, and then I get to restore some of my hit points actually because I forgot I'm down.
Sounds like a goddamn plan.
Indeed.
Yep.
Let's have ourselves a long rest. Remember the last one we gonna get?
So once you're all down there, again, there is enough space just about for all of you. So you kind of one by one slide down the bank onto this shielded area to a degree, just near to this river, and you start to hunker down and start to try and recuperate a little bit. You've got Brody and Tar who alternate the watch and they keep a lookout for anything or anything at all that could be a danger. Whilst during the time nothing does come along, I suppose the longer you wait, the more unease you feel. So obviously you are more or less in the shadow of this large castle, which you've more or less been openly invited to. You're not quite sure why, quite sure what motive there is in being invited here or what waits you. But the longer you wait there, you do feel a little bit more of a sense of dread, especially because you are literally right on the doorstep. There is, again, nothing that approaches you, though. So despite these people walking about, and some of them do kind of, you notice, go towards this castle, you notice that one or two of them do mindlessly walk along this bridge towards the castle, but you don't see them come back. They don't disturb you. They don't pay you any mind. They don't even look your way. They just kind of walk about, taking care of different things. You do hear the sounds of nature as well, but they're not the typical kind of sounds that you'd expect. There are wolves howling in the distance. There are wings fluttering by, but they don't sound like bird wings. They sound more leathery overhead. And you can hear sounds that you certainly don't recognize and do make you feel a little bit uncomfortable. But as the hours go by, you all do manage to rest. You manage to recuperate. Nothing disturbs you, so you do manage to benefit from the full 8 hours or the 6 hours, depending on obviously how you kind of swap your shifts around with the watch. And then you notice it's probably, again, it's very difficult to tell exactly what time it would be because you've got this darkness overhanging. It could be the morning, it could be the evening, but knowing what you know, it is now for all intents and purposes approaching the evening. So it's probably around 9, maybe even 10 o'clock at night by the time you're ready to continue on.
Well, if we were going to fight him at any time, now would be the time.
You damn right, brother.
Let's get this over and done with.
I'm going to hand out 6 torches and suggest we all enter holding these torches aloft and shout, "Burn the beast," as we walk into the house.
That's a little bit cliche, isn't it?
Yeah, well, come on, let's reenact a scene. Burn the beast. Who's with me? Yeah.
Tumbleweed floats by as everyone just scratches
yeah,
their head.
yeah.
All right, Tar's going to hold all 6.
He's not safe until he's dead. He'll come haunt him as his night. Something about a monstrous appetite.
See,
Kill the beast.
Olbran, I'm guessing you're in then.
Sure, fucking why not?
Yes.
I don't need a torch though. I cast light on my hammer. I'm just kind of. Rah.
I'll do. I'll keep all 6. I'll just juggle them.
Hey, yo, I'll take one of them torches, man.
Yeah.
Just one here.
He was. Tar was feeling like proper. Just yeah.
Feel bad for Tar.
Don't feel bad for me. I got 5 still. I'm just going to go in holding 5 lit torches. I'll find something to do with them.
Come in. We make our way back up to the top. We start crossing this bridge. Just because.
So you clamber up the top. You manage to get up to where you were previously, and you start to cross the bridge. As you approach, you do start to take in how grand this castle is. Again, not like a fully blown one with many, many turrets or anything like that, but it's certainly very large. It's very grand. And despite the fact that it hasn't been used for a while, or occupied for a while, from what you understand, it still looks to be in relatively good condition. All the brickwork, from what you can see, is still in one piece. Everything does look to be very well constructed. It looks like a lot of hours have gone into constructing this building. Now, as you cross the bridge, you come to a large set of doors. These doors are probably about 30 feet high. They're really, really grand, and they stretch out quite wide as well. The interesting thing is that they aren't completely closed. They are open a crack. Now, by the doors, you've got this large wall going both left and right, surrounding the grounds of this castle. And of course, you're still on this stone bridge with the river flowing underneath you. But yeah, you are now at the foot of the castle with these great big doors in front of you.
Shit.
Well, the fact that it's even remotely open, can we just don't push it?
Are you just gonna go on in?
He's expecting us.
Fucking right, I am.
Burn the beast! Burn the beast! I'm just gonna like walk in. Burn the beast! Burn the
You should
beast!
go to this guy's head, man.
You just see what happens.
Yeah.
Dude, crazy.
Not quite sure what Tar's been smoking,
The
but
campaign's finally got to him.
Or watching too much Disney.
I've literally just stepped into the door with the 5 lit torches in my arms, but I'm not going to do anything particularly dramatic unless something happens to me first.
Are you all going to step through, or are you somebody going to hang back? How do you want to do it?
We'll step. Well, I'm gonna step through.
I'm quite happy to step in. Allbrand in his normal, miserable, moany way. It's crack. I know you're in here somewhere. Show your face, you basket.
Yeah, Brody will step in as well. Why not?
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
I'll follow.
Yeah, so everyone's going in. So these large double doors, as you push them open, you enter into the grounds of the castle. So all around you is what looks to be a large garden of sorts. Now, from the outside, you wouldn't have known this, but coming inside, it looks to be a complete mess. Despite how well intact the building from the outside looked, the grounds look to be completely unkept. So there is a path leading forwards towards the castle itself, but all around are bushes, trees, all kinds of things that look to have been left completely. They've overgrown, sprouting all over the place. There are trees that have collapsed, died. Either side of the castle, it looks to be that there is a large, the vegetation has grown to such an extent that it is many, many feet high, and it covers a lot of the grounds to either side of the castle. But the forecourt that you're in currently does have a clear path directly to the doors leading towards the castle itself. There is also a small hut that you can see towards the northeast of where you're standing, just up towards the corner of the castle. But the whole area looks to be full of overgrown vegetation, trees, bushes, the lot.
You should. Let's check out the goddamn hut.
Well, I ain't gonna serve you fucking pizza, is it?
Just going to put down the torches.
The fuck's a pizza, man? Shit.
Is that a well? Is that a well next to the hut?
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really convenient. Okay, well, because these torches are getting a bit cumbersome, so I'm just going to trot on over there and dump them in the well. Don't mind me.
I just fly tipping.
is. It's a bit more than fly tipping when you're on someone's
Hurts
property.
Ray big time.
I'm now triggered.
As you do it, you hear a voice coming from the well saying, "Keep it fresh out of here." Do you wanna check out the hut?
Just want to have a look, see what's in there.
Okay, cool. So
See if there's any garden tools we can steal.
this might take a while. So what happens is is anyone else going in, or is just Ron gonna poke his head in there?
I'll go in.
I'll hang back.
Same here.
I'm keen. I want to see what's going on.
Okay. So
Secret entrance.
the hut is pretty small. You open up the door and it is unlocked, so it's really easy to open up. And inside it is a bit of a mess. There is what looks to be the remains of, not the remains literally of someone that used to live there, but it looks as though the inside of the hut used to be inhabited by someone that used to live here. Possibly someone who was a servant, not quite sure, but it's someone who does not live here anymore. It looks to have been left in a bit of a state. There is not even a bed, there is a dirty mattress on the floor in the corner of the room. There is a very small area where they could do like cooking and washing, and just a few basic amenities scattered around the room. It does look like, for the most part, it's been abandoned, like all of the possessions have been taken. There doesn't look to be anything of worth in there, but it certainly looks to have been somewhere that someone used to reside in. I'm going to try and get the map up as well, but I've had to restart Dungeon Scroll because of reasons. But that is what you see as you look in.
Shit.
That sounds harmless enough.
Ain't no fang in here.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
But the DM just described all that, the entirety of that.
Just
like,
just
we're
walk
gonna
away.
bail.
Nah, that'll be
Thanks,
interesting.
I like the idea that it's just like, fuck this.
Award-winning narrative. Just
Yeah.
Such arseholes.
Maybe a quick
Oh,
investigation
agreeing
check.
or denying?
Yeah.
Maybe a quick investigation check.
just from that.
Okay, I got a 19.
Yeah, I mean, investigation-wise, it doesn't look to be that there is anything of worth in here. Again, you kind of have a look, a thorough look around this time, and you can see that there are the remnants of someone that used to live here. There looks to be like remains of clothing, bits of old moldy food there. You can't really find anything that is of worth. There's even like rats and things scattering around, but yeah, there is nothing in there that's worth taking, and it certainly doesn't seem to be any kind of anything hidden per se.
Okay, yeah. Moving on.
Shit. Fuck that hut, man. I can
Just
waste my
hoping-
goddamn time.
Just hoping for some coins.
So no pizza then.
The hell you going on about, man? I don't know what this goddamn pizza is.
Well, you know,
The
you
fuck's
went
a
into
pizza?
hut. Only kind of hut that matters to me.
Oh yeah.
Ain't got a goddamn clue what you talking about.
Oh, Pizza Hut doing a KFC popcorn chicken pizza.
Oh my god,
What the hell?
that's crazy.
Everyone's got like KFC fever recently.
Yeah. The internet breaking collab. Fuck off. It's not that great. Why am I scrolling past?
So Nothing in the hut.
Ain't no thing there.
Nothing down the well. Except
Except
for
for
the
the torches.
Except for all the torches that just hit the fella in the head. So with main doors.
Mm.
Yeah, the main door. Okay.
That seems like the right place to go.
So the doors themselves, again, are very large and grand, much more so than the doors leading to the grounds whole. They are engraved with all sorts of different markings on them. Not quite sure at a glance what they mean. Not even sure if they're a language, but there are symbols on there. A couple you do recognize, for example, the quarter moon. You recognize that and a couple of other things from reading various documents about Ashtarak himself. But aside from that, it just looks to be ornate engravings on there. You open up the doors and they do open. They aren't locked either. They do feel quite heavy, so it takes a bit of a push to get them open. But you open up the doors and you find yourself in a small entrance hall. The hall itself is wider than it is long, and in the hall there are a couple of columns, large stone columns supporting the weight of the upper floor. Yeah, Dungeon Scroll is not responding for me because I've got a shit computer, so it will be now. Inside, you see a couple of things of note. So there are the large columns. There are 4 statues, which look to be just there for decoration more than anything. But as you walk in, you can see 2 on the left, 2 on the right surrounding you. Eerily, they are pointed towards the center of the room. And you see that there is large windows around the room as well, with stained glass on them to let the light in. What little light there is, again, it's just about enough in front of you to make out shapes to see each other, but the light is somewhat dim at the moment. Especially since you've chucked all those torches as well. But you can just about make out a few things in front of you. Now, just before you manage to really take much of an action, you start to hear footsteps approaching you. And these footsteps are echoing on the stone floor. And you have a look around and you're not quite sure where they're coming from to begin with. It almost seems like they're coming from everywhere. But after a couple of moments, a figure emerges from behind, again, almost seems like out of nowhere, from behind one of these statues that's in front of you. And it's a figure that you're familiar with because he has appeared a couple of times on your adventure. He is relatively tall, with long dark hair. He's wearing clothing that looks to be befitting of someone of noble stature. And he's walking at a comfortable pace with his hands clasped behind his back. And he turns to you all, and in a very calm, deep voice, he just simply says, "Welcome. I'm glad that you managed to find your way. The master will be pleased that you've accepted his invitation."
The hell are you talking about, motherfucker? Motherfucking invitation.
Well, he invited you here, did he not, when he was brought back from the beyond to bask in what it was that he is about to bring onto the world. So I'm sure that he has many things to show you, so he waits within.
I recognize your face. Who the fuck are you?
My name is Radovin, and I am the master's... I don't like to use the word servant because that makes it seem like I'm below him, but we are...
You're his sex slave if you're below him. I get it.
Who'd you get sex from?
Because he belows him.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Way over my head, that man. Yeah. Goddamn, must be tired.
It is refreshing that you maintain a sense of humor given the current circumstance you find yourself in. So bravo, my friend.
That's
But,
what I do.
Bird.
I am his friends. I've seen through the good and the bad with him. I've been here to ensure his revival, and without me, I don't think that he would have managed to make it to the state that he's in now. So I'm certainly not below him at all. He is someone who I see almost as an equal, and I live to serve as well and benefit from.
You see him as an equal. Why do you call him your master? Also, isn't he meant to be like a god?
He is indeed. We are of a similar kind, he and I. He is master as a title, but certainly he does not expect any less of me than he would expect from himself. So we are equals in that regard, but master is just a formality.
The HR department. Sounds like you need equal pay.
Well, we will equally benefit from what he brings into the world now that he is back with us. So
Shit, let's go find out what this motherfucker want.
Yeah, I want to see what he's going to do.
Yeah, let's go along.
Even if he
with
does
it.
torch the world,
Hey.
maybe I'm on his side after all.
Dude might be a
I'm
good
not really
dude
a
after all.
fan of doing this, but I agree with Ron.
Excuse me, what?
Yeah, I know. Don't worry about it.
Don't buck the trend, Burra. Get your ass up there.
Yeah, I'm just following as well. Yeah, I'll do what they do.
So your master is expecting us, is he?
he is further within. So please do go ahead and feel free to explore the grounds as well if you wish to. You may find a few surprises along the way.
I don't like the sounds of that.
No, I'm not really sure if I quite like that. The idea of strolling around some ex-dead reincarnated god type person's house and just
He might be just very, very happy with what he's done with the place. Just showed up.
Well, judging from the front garden,
That's true.
Yeah,
I wouldn't expect too much.
He's a man of presence.
okay.
Are we gonna go straight now, or
We just wait. We gotta wait. Have we? Well, sorry.
No, it's pointing us in the right direction then, Mr. Bellowman.
So he just simply takes a step to the side, and he kind of motions with his arm towards the door that is directly in front of you.
Another door. Okay.
So as you walk through the door, it leads into a larger entranceway. This one is, again, wider than it is long. And it looks to be, there's a lot of different ways that you can enter through the rest of the house. There is a door both to the left and the right-hand side of the entrance hall, just at the far end from where you're standing. There are two sets of stone steps that kind of go around and up onto the second floor of the building. And you have a door just dead center in the middle of the room, opposite to where you are at the moment. Again, this room looks to be fairly similarly decorated. There are a few different sets of statues standing on either side of the of where you're standing at the moment. There are large stone columns holding up the second floor, and various paintings scattered around on the walls, as well as stained glass windows high up on the walls to let in what light there is. So you've got Still trying to get this up, but it's still not working. So there is a door to the left, a door to the right, a door in the center, and there are large steps leading up to the second floor of the building.
You're slowly being consumed by your background, Matt.
It's kind of cool. At one point, it looked like your walls were like imprinted with the Misfit Adventures logo.
Yeah.
Like
I was
that,
about to
yeah.
say, you might think about switching that off, and that might actually
Help
benefit Dungeon
Yeah.
Scroll. I'm just going to grab something to eat. I'll be back in like 30 seconds.
Okay, let me try and see if that makes a difference. It's been on the whole time, so I don't know
Yeah.
what makes a difference, but let's see.
Leave it on.
Well, I'm thinking we should just go straight up to the center room.
Shit.
Keep it nice and straight.
What the hell you think's gonna happen, man? We gonna die.
So we should take a different route.
The question you go ask yourself is, if we look around his house and then we go upstairs and we fight him, we might die. If we ignore the rest of the house and we walk up those stairs and we fight him, we might die.
Yeah.
If we don't fight him and leave and fucking ignore him, we might die.
Everyone gonna die.
Well, that makes it very clear on what we need to do.
We gotta do. We ain't got no choice, man. We just gotta die.
No, that's not really. I said we might.
I'll do you if you do me.
I'm just looking worst case scenario.
What happened to your confidence there, Ron?
A little bit shaken, if I'm honest.
So what? You're telling me that you just talk shit?
Well,
You all talk now.
come on. Hey, you confident?
I'll die trying.
You said. Yeah, shit. Well, I know in deep down inside you fucking you scared of shit, just like me.
Right, I think I got it working now. Bear with me. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm glad I got this working now. Shit, it's going really slow anyway. Right. So this is the room that you find yourselves in. So you've come from the bottom entrance, and in front of you is again a large entrance hall. You have the room to the left, the room to the right, the room in the center. You have these two large stone sets of steps leading up towards the second floor. There are a couple of bookcases at the far end, one on the left, one on the right. Again, you've got really well painted pieces of art around the room, and you've got these large stained glass windows high up to let in the light. Now, once you walk in, you start to feel it's kind of similar to that sense of unease that you felt when you were taking a rest earlier, but it almost kind of feels like you feel like someone stepped on your grave. It feels like, really uneasy feeling. And you start to almost feel like you're seeing things. And almost as if on cue, there is, you can hear storm clouds creeping in. You can hear the rumble of thunder, and then you hear a flash of lightning. And for a split second, you see this in front of you. 5 bodies laying strewn all across the room, bloodied, beaten. And you recognize just before they disappear again that you recognize them.
One of them's got an afro.
I need you all to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yay, something I got an advantage in.
20.
11. Oop.
24.
15.
Congratulations, get a body too much now.
I've got an 18.
Okay. So with this, whatever it was, you're not quite sure, this hallucination, this thing that happened before you, you are a little bit rattled. Some of you do manage to keep your composure. Tar and Brody, you, for some reason, you saw this in front of you. You saw these bodies in front of you, strewn across the room, bloodied, beaten, and it hit really hard, and you felt like your heart drop as you saw it. So you two are currently, as a kind of condition, as frightened for the next hour. I won't go into great depth of what that does unless something happens where we need to use it. But essentially, it does give you disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls. That's the main thing about it.
Bugger.
Okay.
I
I'm
just
just
saw
very
corpses
frightened right now.
everywhere. Corpses everywhere. We need to go back. We
You know
need to
what?
go back.
What does Tar look like when he's frightened? He's just sort of irrationally erratic, isn't he? So
Just open jaw.
So if we recognise them, can one of us that isn't shitting ourselves try and identify?
You can. I mean, it was a very, very quick thing. It was like a split second. So let's say, what can we do for that? Do a perception roll, but with disadvantage.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, we went from a dirty 20 to a dirty 15.
Okay.
12. That'll be a 12 on my end.
Okay.
With
I mean, you
disadvantage.
don't all necessarily have to do one, but basically, even
I
with
just felt like doing it.
you do recognize that they all looked basically like you guys.
Ah,
I understand why he's shitting a brick.
Tony Stark. It's Tony Stark all over again.
It was something eerily reminiscent, and you know, most of you didn't quite catch it, but one or two of you may have recognized distinguishing features that made you realize that actually this is all of you, and you're not quite sure whether it's a vision of the future, whether it's a hallucination, whether it's a scare tactic. But literally for a second at the most, these bodies appeared in front of you.
It was the afro that threw us off.
Well, the afro was singed, so.
So you're saying that one was bald?
No.
Bald,
just slightly
live.
Tara is really frightened because one of them was holding a double elk horn weapon.
By the way.
That's and then he knew instinctively what he'd seen.
Such a brutal way to checkmate the DM.
Yeah, maybe
He's getting that weapon.
I've sent it to Tara. He knows what he's got now.
Have you?
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I should have sent it in like a private chat about an hour ago, actually.
Oh yeah, I see.
Yeah, Brody just happened to be, the corpse of Brody was holding some keys to his new siege engine as well. It was just, yeah, it looked like a
Sweet.
set of keys to his siege engine.
Okay, right. So we've got 2 members of the team that are pulling themselves, 3 doors and 2 sets of stairs.
Can I name the staff?
You can, yeah.
Wicked. So do I just have it? Do I just have it now, or do we have to wait for something to happen?
Well, no, you spent some downtime crafting it right earlier.
Yeah.
You just didn't name it and give it its actual stats. So yeah, it's with you now. So
Nice.
you can, yeah, cool. I was trying to think of a name for it earlier, like I don't know, like Elky's
I was gonna go.
Elky's Wrath or something like that. But
It's nice. I like that. I was gonna go with Elky's Spirit.
Horny.
Actually, that seems like a really.
I was thinking of something along those lines. Horny something, I was thinking.
All I could get in my head is just the song. I'm horny.
Can't wait.
And that's what it does. Projects that song.
So wish I was a bard. Right. Yeah, right. Okay. So look. 3 doors, 2 stairs, 2 guys are shitting themselves. At some point, we're gonna have to fight this fucker. What we can do? I'm mildly concerned. Only mildly, mind you.
I'd like to tear up some of the carpet, and I'd also like to check underneath the carpet for anything.
That old chestnut.
yeah, it's easily done. I mean, you can get like a blade weapon from someone else if you don't have one already, and just tear a section off. But doesn't look to be at a glance anything that that looks to be hidden underneath it. No.
It's a dust pile that's been swept under there. Yeah, so I'll take a roll of carpet, and I'm just going to hold on to that for a while.
Let them go wrong.
Oh man, I just love the carpet stuns. They're just so effective.
Right. Well,
I mean, I'll throw an ultimatum out there. Do you want to press on, or do you want to call it a night there? Because I'll be honest with you, you guys are probably up to level 7 now.
Ooh.
So I was going to give you the ability to make the changes, obviously, at the end of tonight anyway. But if you would rather level up now to be prepared for what's to come, Tara and Brody will still be frightened for an hour, but you'll have more HP and extra bits and pieces. If you want to, you can do that now, or you can press on for a little bit and then go to level 7 when we finish.
yes.
What, press on?
No, the 11 o'clock finish is good for me.
Yeah, that's good for me because I'm going to die in a minute from tiredness.
Yeah.
Misfit Adventures.